Angela Williams, and I am a daughter of Anderson, South Carolina. I was born here to Reverend J.C. Williams and Aletha Williams. My dad was the pastor of Royal Baptist Church on East Hampton Street, and I went by there today to just reflect on what I learned being a daughter of Anderson. And this place represents the foundation of who I am and who I've grown up to be over the years.
Did you ever dream when you were growing up here that one day you'd be head of an international organization helping people all over the world?
No, I had no idea that growing up in Anderson, that the pathway from Anderson, South Carolina to San Diego, once my dad joined the Navy as a chaplain, to my being in the military on active duty as a lawyer in the Air Force, and the multiple positions I've held, I never ever thought that I would land back in Anderson, South Carolina as president and CEO of United Way Worldwide and have the opportunity to see the great work that is happening on the ground here in Anderson.
And why did you choose the United Way? You could have done a lot of other things.
The reason I'm with United Way Worldwide is because this is the organization that really encompasses all that I believe I was born to do, and that is to serve people. United Way has 3 pillars: health, education, economic mobility, and that's how we show up in community. My United Way colleagues are neighbors helping neighbors, and when I saw that there was an opportunity to lead this organization with 1,100 local United Ways operating in 37 countries, I just knew it had my name on it.
And you've stayed in touch with Anderson. You've come back here over the years and stayed in touch with what's going on here, right?
Yes. So, as all good pastors do, they stay in touch with members of their congregation. And so, over the years, my parents have stayed in close contact with numerous Andersonians, and that's decades and decades and decades of relationships. And over the summers, even when my dad was stationed in California, we would drive 3 days from California to come back to South Carolina. So I remember those long days in the car, but we never ever lost our connection to this wonderful city.
Here tonight at the Hilton Garden Inn, we are celebrating Juneteenth with our African American Leadership Society of United Way, and we are thrilled that Anderson native Angela F. Williams is our keynote speaker. Angela is currently serving as the CEO of United Way Worldwide. Born here in Anderson, her father was the pastor of Royal Baptist Church. She has deep roots, and she's thrilled to be with us this evening. We are hosting about 300 community leaders this evening, all interested in what we're doing at United Way and how our work impacts the community. And the big celebration this evening is that we have raised the final payment through this event to pay off the roof of the Westside Community Center. I'm so sorry that Dr. B is not with us this evening, but I know that she is here in spirit and so pleased that we've been able to bring this project to fruition and make her space a better space with no leaks, no buckets, just enjoying a dry indoor space, serving so many people in the Anderson community.
I'm here tonight to present Miss Angela Williams' a resolution from the county. And after reading that, I didn't know she was a native Andersonian. She was born and raised here. This group is important because they recognize the minority community, you know, and people that are moving and shaking, that are making things happen in the African American community.
So I am Spencer Jones.
And tell me what you're winning here tonight.
So I am being awarded with the Community Trailblazer Award.
What does that mean to you?
To me, Honestly, wasn't expecting it. I do a lot with the public in regards to financial education, where I work at with Wells Fargo. And so just in my day-to-day routine, I don't really, I guess, realize the impact that I have on the lives of the community, and having those conversations with them around how to better manage their finances and to be able to gain that financial success. So it's just a huge honor to be able to get that. You know, I think about the individuals who have gotten the award in the past that really are heavily active in volunteer time and all out in the community. And where I work at, we get volunteer time, but also working that Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It makes it a little bit more challenging sometimes to be able to get as much in as you want to. So definitely thankful to be recognized for what I'm doing while working at a corporate company, while still actively engaging the community on a day-to-day basis.
Is there anything particular that motivates you to want to spend your time doing this?
Just really being able to see individuals find their financial success. Growing up, really not having a lot. You always had your needs met, but lacked in a lot of wants. Didn't grow up where income was really positive in our household. So there was a lot of lack. And so being able to get to that point and grow to a place of financial stability and wanting to be able to teach others in the community to be able to achieve those goals as well is definitely my driving factor every day when I go in.
Here you are one more time.
James Bennet, New Beginning Ministry International.
And remind people why you're here tonight.
More than one. What's that again?
Remind people why you're here tonight.
Yes. Okay, we're here because celebrate the United Way, and not only celebrate United Way, celebrate the people that actually promote the things that's going in United Way. And it's important to reach out and help somebody else. And whether we are for the cause or not for the cause, that we should pick up a cause. And United One is a good cause. And I appreciate the fact of being honored tonight. But you know, being honored to me is really just a thank you. And I appreciate them thanking me. That's more than enough right there. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to celebrate all the honorees. And I'm so glad to see you.
How long have you been involved in community service?
Wow. Probably about 43 years. 43 years ago, we started reaching out, going into prisons, working in prison, going into elementary school, junior high school, foreign missions. Whatever we could do in our little corner, we take that and try to make a difference in people's lives.
Give me a second, I gotta remember the name. My name is Angel Wheeler. I am being honored for the Emerging Community Leader Award. Forgive me if I messed up that title. But I'm so excited to even be here, be in the room. Titles don't really matter to me. All that matters is that I am contributing to the community that has contributed to me.
And what got you motivated to give back to the community?
I think it's just because I've had those people to contribute to me, so it's kind of like, it's what I know, it's what I've been taught, it's what I've seen. And I can't help but to want to do the same thing. I know what that feels like, to have mentors and people to just pour into you. So I want to be that for someone else. I know how beneficial that is.
What would you say to people that are sort of on the fence about volunteering? What do you get back from the things you do?
Oh my gosh, I mean, just so much. It makes you feel so good when you can make someone else feel good. Whatever it is that you are feeling like you don't have or you're lacking, if you help someone else help someone else get that, you'll receive it 10 times, 100-fold for sure.
I know who you are, so I'm going to ask you that. So,
I'm going to button my...
Tell me why you're here tonight.
Okay, so my name is Ankoma Anderson. I'm here tonight because our church has always been involved with United Way. I believe very strongly that at the center of all that the church should do or is involved in, the community should be at the very center of that. So I'm here because I'm a big proponent of community and making moves in the community. I think community transformation is very important.
And how encouraging is it to get everybody together once a year to do this kind of event?
So I think it's very encouraging. I think, again, I think this is has an African-American focus. So it's a wonderful opportunity for many of us who are involved in the community who may not necessarily work side by side in the community. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to come together and to see who's doing what, to hear about who's doing what. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to, by knowing those things, for us to start to build some collaborative partnerships as well. So I think it's a great opportunity for that.
All right, for those of you who don't know, my name is Sheba Fox, and I am delighted to serve as your mistress of ceremonies for the evening. And I would like to welcome you to our Juneteenth celebration. Now, we are thankful that all of you have chosen to support the United Way African American Leadership Society with your presence. Now, we are especially thankful to Anderson native and CEO of United Way Worldwide as our keynote speaker. Now, she is one of us, and we are so proud of her. Now, this evening is going to be filled with entertainment, delicious food, y'all heard me, some delicious food, and remarks by Mrs. Williams, and a celebration of accomplishments and awardees. Now, the Gala committee has done such a great job. Do y'all see these beautiful decorations? It's beautiful in here. Y'all give them a round of applause. They've done a great job at preparing this special evening, and I would like to call on the Gala chairperson, Dr. Shaka Smith, for some words of welcome. Y'all give it up for Shaka one more time.
Welcome to this year's Dream Gala. What a gratifying pleasure to see this grand ballroom graced with your cherished presence to witness this amazing event today. The committee for this year's Dream Gala has been stellar. When I call your name, if you will please stand. Caleb Allen. Where's Caleb? Okay. Cynthia Teemer, Maria Torres, Tracy Richardson, and last but not least, Carol Burdett. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy personal and professional schedules to execute this task so gracefully. To our illustrious speaker, renowned honorees, our sponsors, our MC, Sheba, DJ Felisko over here, our caterer and decorator, Decorum by Design, and all of you amazing guests here today, we are happy that you are here. In addition to celebrating great people today, we will be acknowledging one of the oldest internationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. Today, Juneteenth commemorates African American freedom and emphasizes education and achievement. So on today, we will acknowledge the African American spirit and pay tribute to the roles and contributions which have enriched our society. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening.
Excuse me, I would like us all to celebrate as Faith Bonner sings Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Good evening, everybody. It is an honor to be able to sing for each and every one of you on today. I'm a proud 2023 graduate of T.L. Hanna, and thank you, Dr. Smith, for having me. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us till victory is won.
All right, we already said a prayer. We had some performances. Y'all ready to eat? All right, well, now it is time for our delicious meal. I hope you all enjoy it. There will be some order when we do this. So we have some tables. I will call the table name when that table name is called, number is called. If you don't know your table number, there is a menu card on your table that will identify which table number you are. So first up, table 1.
Good evening. I just want to first of all say thank you to Dr. Shaka Smith and the AALS Gala Planning Committee. It is an honor to be here tonight and to perform a spoken word piece. So giving honor to our keynote speaker and to all of our honorees and award recipients tonight. I hope that you enjoy this piece. And it is really difficult to talk about African American history and our accomplishments and just us as a people without talking about our faith. Faith is freedom, and freedom is faith. And so I'm going to start in the Gospel of Luke. In chapter 4, Jesus returned to Galilee, his hometown, powerful in the Spirit. He went to the meeting place and stood up to read the scroll of the prophet Isaiah. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. That is good news. The year of Jubilee, the year of God's favor, the year of debt cancellation, restoration of all that was lost, the liberation of slaves, the year when all were freed. All prisons don't have bars. Where is your life in shackles? What chain links dangle from your wrist? Chains, bulky, broad, bloodied, and restrictive, reducing you to limits, questioning your existence. Chains, clanking, clinging, conveying a message, keeping you in bondage, leaving you desperate. But just when the darkness begins to absorb the light, you remember his word, stirring songs in the night. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Where is the water calling for you to venture? To plunge a little deeper, to risk it all? Do you trust him as your keeper? All prisons don't have bars. Visible chains don't always mark the enslaved. Release your fears into the waters. Watch the waves carry them away. Stand sure-footed in your liberty. On your heart, his promises are engraved. You're free to explore new territory, to discover roads that are yet unpaved. Always remember, though chains are uncomfortable, they are designed with care, conning you to embrace the familiar. Resist temptation, beware. Though your dreams are sight unseen, you have the faith to get you there. So go ahead, step into this moment. Be confident, you are prepared. Dance, celebrate, hold hands with your neighbor, obliterating hate in partnership with our Creator. Together, we're a force of freedom that can't be denied, honoring those who've gone before us, legacy shining in our eyes. Step into the water, though it be cold. It may chill our bodies, but it won't harm our souls. Let's open up, show up for all to see our God-given beauty, our glorious humanity. The declaration is freedom, not for some, but for all. So let's raise our voices in response to the call. The wait is over. This is the year of Jubilee. Let's shout, let's rejoice. Freedom is the decree.
Y'all give it up for Catherine Burns. That was beautiful. All right, now coming to the stage, we got Carol Cordell.
So, first things first this evening, I want to publicly thank our superstar this evening. Without her, Angela Williams would not be with us. So Sally Bozeman, take a bow. And one more item before we get to the good stuff of hearing about Angela. I want to thank her staff Tonight, Emily Smith is with her. And I want to just say, Angela, your staff have been so patient and kind in communicating with us in all the details of getting you here. So you should be very proud of them. Yes. What an honor for me as the United Way Director to be able to welcome and introduce to you the keynote speaker this evening, our very own native Andersonian. Angela's father was the pastor of Royal Baptist Church, and Royal Baptist Church is here tonight. Let me hear from you. I know that they are beaming with pride, just as I am, with the connection with United Way. We are so proud that today Angela joined us at the groundbreaking of the Brian White Community Garden out at ANMED, a partnership, and she was able to see that work firsthand. She also met with us with some participants of a brand new program at United Way we're doing called Camp Mariposa. And if you could have seen how Angela interacted with the youth that are in that program, it was amazing. Thank you, Angela, for taking time to do both of those things today and being with us this evening. So let me tell you a little bit about Angela. Angela is the first Black woman to lead America's United Way's global network that serves 1,100 communities in 37 countries and territories around the world. And can you believe that she is right here in Anderson with us tonight? You see, most of her travels are to big United Ways, way bigger than us. And so we have a great deal of pride this evening in having her here. But I want to tell you about her. She is an innovative, visionary, and problem solver. In the past 30 years, she has served as president and CEO of Easter Seals, the general counsel and chief administrative officer at the YMCA of the USA. She was the interfaith liaison for the Bush-Clinton-Katrina Fund, special counsel on criminal law for Senator Edward Kennedy on the Senate Judiciary Committee staff. And she's a JAG. Wow. And most of all, she is an Anderson daughter. So I want you to give it up for her right now. Yes, you can stand up and applaud.
Well, good evening. Wow, I can't believe I'm here in Anderson, South Carolina with such beautiful people. I am so honored and thrilled and excited and overwhelmed and any other word that you can come up with to be here with you tonight. It's incredible. And I want to thank not only Miss Sally, but Carol for reaching out and extending this invitation for me to join you on a very, very special night. And it's just something else, I've got to say. It's been a while since I've been in Anderson, several years actually. I think the last time I was here, I was actually preaching at Royal Baptist Church. And the church where, as Carol said, my dad pastored. And I just tell you that, first of all, I didn't recognize Anderson. And you know how you see a child that you haven't seen in a while, you say, my, how you've grown. Well, I must say to Anderson, my, how you've grown. It's incredible, it's impressive. But I just want to say that this is a very, very special time. It's a moment where I look at history and I look at the times and the seasons, and I always think about what is the moment that we find ourselves in? What is my purpose? Why am I here at this moment in time? And what am I supposed to accomplish? And I've been telling people recently, I feel as if I'm in an Esther moment for such a time as this. And when I look around in communities all around the world. There may be different faces, different cultures, different languages, but the needs in community, in human community, remain the same. People desire to thrive. They want access to health care, education. They want economic mobility. They want to live in a clean, environmental friendly place. They want to be able to achieve their dreams. And I can think of no better organization to be a part of that makes those dreams become realities. No better organization that is there day and night to help people, to walk alongside people, to collaborate and partner than United Way. So I am thrilled and pleased and honored and humbled to be the president and CEO of this global organization. And even more pleased, thrilled, and humbled to meet my United Way colleagues that care so much in their community. So I want to first ask all of the United Way colleagues if you could please stand that are here in the room, because I want to acknowledge you and thank you for what you do and how you care. Come on, Carol, all of you, all the United Way colleagues, please stand. And now, all the United Way volunteers, if you're here, please stand, past, present, and future. That should be everybody. Thank you, thank you. It's because of all of you that a difference is being made in community. And I think it's so special. I want to thank you for your spoken word. I said, thank you, Lord, because you gave her a word for me to commission me at this moment, because I was asking the Lord, what is it that I'm supposed to do here and why am I here? And you gave me the answer. So thank you for that. Yes. But we're here to honor the history, the culture, and the contributions of Black Americans, in addition to celebrating the trailblazing Dream Award recipients that are being honored here tonight. And I don't know who they are, but I can't wait to see them. So I'm not going to stay up here long because we need to get to the important thing. But let me just start by saying this, and we know that every story has a beginning. And my beginning began here in Anderson, dare I say the year, 1963. Say, girl, you look good for your age. I just have to say that because I'm coming up on a big one in a few months. They're all big. But I was born to, of the daughter of Reverend J.C. and Aletha Williams. And as you heard, Pastor Royal Baptist Church, located at 407 East Hampton Street. So thank you, Royal Baptist Church, for being in the room tonight. And I want to say that in my years, in my formative years at Royal, I remember the Klingscale family. The Klingscales were the family. They were very close to my parents. I think about J.O. and Arabella Rich, and Stanley's here, and Stephanie's here. I think about Delilah in the yellow, and Delilah was my very best friend at age 4. And Delilah doesn't remember this, but the reason I got this cut underneath my lip is from jumping up and down on the bed and falling on the headboard and busting my lip open. But I just remember just fondly the families, the connection, and all these decades later, my parents are still alive. They live now in Oxon Hill, Maryland. My dad will be 90 by the end of this year. My mom will be 85, and they're living on their own. But they just love Anderson, and they instilled that in me and my brother and my sister. And so if you think back to the 50s and the 60s and 70s, those are very turbulent times in this country, and the vestiges of those still remain. However, there are some very powerful lessons that are still applicable today. And a number of them I found when I was cleaning out my parents' attic to move them from Augusta, Georgia up to Maryland last year. And it was a letter that my dad wrote on June 15th, 1957, to all of the pastors in the state of South Carolina. At that time, he was the head of the NAACP for the state of South Carolina. And he began his letter with this quote: "The cowards die many times, but the brave only taste of death but once." And then he went on to say in this letter, the NAACP is looking for brave men and women, boys and girls. We can't afford to go backward, but to move forward. Remember, this is not the other men's fight, but our fight. That was my dad's call to action to all pastors in the state of South Carolina. And so what we know is that communities then and now come together to care for one another. In 1963 and 2023, I've watched neighbors prepare meals for one another. I've seen those who've owned cars provide transportation to others. I've seen those that knew someone had a need put a little bit of extra in the offering plate. And I've seen people from all over America and the world stand together and provide encouragement to those making good trouble. I've learned that a united community could and does change the world. And that's why I love being a part of United Way. United meaning coming together, and the way meaning the path of the journey that we all take in lockstep with arms locked together, knowing that we cannot leave anybody behind, but we can't make progress unless we all are determined to do it together. And so my father's work during the civil rights movement not only taught me about courage, but it also taught me about grace. He walked in his faith and applied biblical principles, he and my mom, to everything they did. For 30 years, my dad was an active duty chaplain in his U.S. Naval uniform and served his country. And I came to understand the choices that he made were rooted and grounded from a place of love and respect for not only his country, but his fellow man. He believed, as I came to believe, that America represents the best, and that is what inspired me to join the military as a lawyer in the Air Force and to serve on active duty for 6.5 years, and then to go on and to become a federal prosecutor and hold other jobs in the military and outside of the military as part of the federal government. But what I understood was when I raised my hand and took the oath to serve, I believed that I could be an instrument of truth and justice and fairness. And my values are grounded right here in Anderson. And so I don't take it lightly. And Carol, again, being an ordained minister, I don't take it lightly when things happen. And the fact that I wore sandals to do a groundbreaking of a community garden, and as I was walking in the dirt to go get the shovel, I said to Congressman Brian White, I was like, I'm sinking in the dirt. He said, well, thank God you're not 6 feet under. I was like, I am not. But what I took was the fact that my feet could touch the ground again and be reconnected to my source and where I got my start. And so when I think about the lessons I learned from from the military, but going back to the household that I grew up in. I will tell you another story. Now, I don't know if it's true. My parents tell this story on me, but they said when we were at Royal, after the deacons would take up or the ushers would take the offering, they would take it back up to the pulpit for my dad to bless it. But you know, sometimes coins would fall out of the offering plate. And he said I was the one that would go pick up the coins and put them in my little pocketbook. And he'd have to say, Angela, give the money back. But I just want to say the lesson is, I know how to collect funds for good use. So there are all kinds of lessons that I take from Anderson. But I want to just share this one with you, coming out of Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 and 2, that says, Paul says, as a prisoner for the Lord, that I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. I want you to know that that's what we are here to do. We must carry each other. We must walk in this unity of spirit. We must begin to recognize that I can't be all of who I am created to be unless you are all that you were created to be. That's right. And so when I look at the work that is being done even in this community, and the fact that United Way took over 4,000 referrals for crisis assistance here in Anderson, it makes me proud to say we've got people on the other end of the phone that say, I want to help. How can I be of service? And so when I think about the emergency kitchen, we're feeding people's physical selves, but we must know that in so doing, we're nurturing their spirits. And they know that if nowhere else they can once a day get a nutritious meal. We should think about that, the senior boxes of food that are put together. And we have to begin to realize that in partnership and in collaboration, we can make the difference. If everyone in this room were to agree on the one thing that is plaguing Anderson and that you want to see it resolved and disappear, what is that one thing? And if you all agree to get together, put a plan together, you can make it happen. And so my challenge for all of you is to figure out what that thing is and get to it. There is no time to waste. I don't know about you, but every time I end up in the month of December, I said, my goodness, where did the year go? And it's as if the world is revolving faster and faster, and time is just going rapidly. Technology is changing and is causing our lives to change. And I'm concerned that there are people that will be left behind. We cannot afford our future generations being left behind. We must invest in the next generation of leaders. They must know how to read. They must know how to think critically. They must be given the license to be creative and innovative. They must be given the freedom to learn and explore, to be out in the wilderness, to go to camp, to learn all that they can, to be in community, to be in fellowship, to be in relationship. We have the obligation to do that. After all, who's going to take care of us? I want to leave us with this. The immortal words of Harriet Tubman, who said, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And so I just want to know, are there any dreamers in the house? Amen.
I told Angela a little earlier today that not to worry with all the gifts that she's going to receive this evening. We're going to ship them to Alexandria. We're not going to make you try to take them on the plane. At this time, I would like to call on Brandy Bell Geer, who is going to make a presentation. Brandy is with the mayor's office with the city of Anderson. And so, here you go.
Buenas noches. The Dream Gala has been a beautiful moment that we all shared together and united.
Yes.
Angela Williams, you are a phenomenal woman from the Electric City. The city of Anderson salutes your accomplishments and your worldwide leadership. And on the behalf of Mayor Roberts and the council, I present to you the key to the city.
Oh my God.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is a resolution from Anderson County Council, and it reads as follows. A resolution to honor and recognize Angela F. Williams for a lifetime of mission-driven service, cross-sector leadership in communities across America and the world. Whereas Angela Williams, JD, MD, was born and raised in Anderson until her father moved their family to San Diego to follow a call to ministry in the United States Navy when she was 5 years old. Whereas Ms. Williams continued a family's tradition of military service, serving more than 6 years on active duty in the United States Air Force Judd Advocate General Corps, JAG, in Kansas, the Republic of Korea, and Washington, D.C. This following her graduation from the University of Texas School of Law, University of Virginia. And whereas Ms. Williams, President and CEO of United Way Worldwide, and the first black woman to lead America's United Way global network, serving 1,100 communities in 37 countries, territories around the world, has more than 30 years of leadership in the nonprofit, corporate sectors, and brings her innovative vision and long history of purpose-driven work to her role at United Way Worldwide. And whereas Ms. Williams previously served as president and CEO of Easter Seals General Counsel, Chief Administration Officer at YMCA of the U.S., Interfaith Liaison for the Bush-Clinton-Katrina Fund, Special Counsel on Criminal Law for Senator Edward M. Kennedy in the Senate Judiciary Committee staff, was named to Forbes 2021 list of 50 over 50 creating social change at scale, and was presented with a 2021 CEO Today Healthcare Award. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Anderson County Council honors and recognizes Angela Williams for her passionate service to create equitable solutions in communities and ensure that people experiencing problems have a voice in solving them. Resolved, the 16th day of June, for Anderson County, Chairman Tommy Dunn, Administrator Rusty Burns. And we say thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome home.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy, and thank you, Mr. Davis. At this time, I would like to call on Dr. Gail A1, who is the CEO of the Urban League of the Upstate. We have something else. Hey, you not, well, yes.
There you go. Thank you, Carol.
Let me get this.
Thank you so much, Angela. Wow, it was just incredible listening to you, hearing your story, being a daughter of the movement. I feel very emotional. It's so impactful to have a woman like you doing this work. It is incredibly important. And I'm so happy to meet you. On behalf of the Urban League of the Upstate, of course, a civil rights organization, our board of directors, Juana Slade, a member of our board, I just want to read this message to you. Dear Angela, on behalf of the National Urban League and the Urban League movement, please accept my sincerest congratulations on your appointment as President and Chief Executive Officer of the United Way Worldwide. You are poised to lead with passion and excellence and purpose. If we can be of service to you, please do not hesitate to call. With warmest regards, I remain very truly yours, Mark H. Moriel, President and Chief Executive Director of the National Urban League. Thank you.
And now, for those of you in the audience that know me pretty well, you may know that I am a huge Rotarian. So I could not let Angela go back without making her a Paul Harris Fellow. And those of you in the Rotary world, this is a big deal. So congratulations, and I want you to have this, wear it proudly.
I appreciate you. Oh, my gosh.
Now, before I turn it over to Sheba, I have one more thing to do. I am going to, I put my money where my mouth is, so I am going to be making a $1,000 contribution in honor of Angela and her work for food insecurity and fighting hunger. I know that's important to her because this year Angela was at the forefront of working with the United States Post Office in their Stamp Out Hunger campaign. So what I want you to do tonight is I want you to join me. On the back of your program, there is a QR code. If you're techie savvy, you can make a contribution just by going there, and it can be anywhere from $5 to $500 to $5,000. Or you can drop a check or cash in a basket on your way out. Please join me in helping feed the hungry in Anderson County and doing it in honor of our leader, Angela Williams.
Oh, I bet you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. That's so beautiful. Congratulations on all your gifts and awards and even the key to the city. All right, so I know she's feeling really, really good right now, really special. So as a daughter of Anderson, I want to congratulate you on all your accomplishments in life, okay? All right, now moving right along now, since Angela's feeling special, and this time I would like to go ahead and just call Caleb to the stage, Caleb Allen, and those assisting him for our award ceremony.
Well, hello everybody, how are y'all doing? Awesome, awesome. To Angela Williams, thank you so much. It is hard to come after you, but I just want to say thank you for all that you've done thus far, and we're glad to have you here, so thank you again. And I just want to say on behalf of the AALS, thank you for having me as a person to announce our award winners and bios, and so this is truly an honor and privilege that I don't take lightly, so thank you again. So I will start out with the Torrie Geer. She is actually not able to be here today, but I did want to say congratulations to her before we get started. You can read about her there in your program, but she is pivotal to the community and all the things that she has done. And so we would be remiss if we didn't honor her. And so I just want to say, let's go ahead and give her a round of applause for everything she's done as well. Today we want to recognize our emerging leader, Angel Wheeler. If you want to come on up, and I'll read about you as you come on up. Angel Wheeler is a native of Belton, South Carolina, attended South Carolina State University, where she earned a BS degree in nutrition in 2015, establishing herself as a proud alumna of one of the best HBCUs in the country, South Carolina State University. In 2016, Angela founded Angels Elite Model Troop, a non-profit organization dedicated to empowering young women to overcome life's challenges through modeling and related arts, fostering confidence and adaptability. With titles such as Miss Anderson County, USA 2017, and Miss Black South Carolina, USA 2018, Angel's successful pageant career and modeling endeavors have played a significant role in her personal and professional growth, stemming from her humble beginnings at New Beginnings Ministry International. Congratulations, Angel Wheeler. Absolutely.
Thank you all, and believe it or not, I do not like being in the front. I would prefer to stay in the back, despite what people may assume. But what I have learned and what I am learning is that life will really push you, if you embrace it in the right way, to who you really are. So thank you guys. I have my family here, my wave your hands, my church family, everyone, my friends here to support, and it is them that I have to thank. And I do have to say that is my pastor, my papa, who is also being honored tonight. So it is an honor, Sir Grandma, to be honored with you guys. Thank you so much.
Our next award recipient is Spencer Jones for the Ambassador Leadership Award. Spencer, if you want to come. Spencer Jones is a native of Anderson County, South Carolina, and is a devoted husband and father who cherishes quality time with his family and seeks out new travel adventures. With an 11-year tenure at Wells Fargo, Spencer currently holds the position of Regional Banking Manager. He has dedicated himself to educating the community in financial literacy, drawing from his own humble beginnings and his mother's emphasis on education and hard work. As an advocate for financial education, Spencer actively teaches youth at the Westside Community Center about money management, credit, and budgeting. He also serves on the Branch Manager Advisory Board for Wells Fargo, engaging in discussion with decision makers to make a positive impact on the communities they serve and enhance accessibility to financial tools and resources. Everybody, give it up for Spencer Jones.
Definitely an honor to be able to stand up here and accept this award. Definitely was not anything expected. I think as we kind of go through when we do our day-to-day routine and we're just kind of living life, we have a job to do, we have involvement in the community, and you don't necessarily realize the impact that you're making when you're doing that job every day. And so very thankful to be able to be a part of the Anderson community. I see a lot of my clients here in the back, in this room, that I get to see week after week, day after day, and just being able to speak to these individuals, teach these children. The best thing that I can leave you guys with is I look around this room and I look at the fact that we are in an African American leadership society with the United Way of Anderson being celebrated as leaders. Teach your kids how to manage their money. If you cannot teach them yourself, I can assure you, we have leaders at Wells Fargo and amongst many other locations in this community that are willing to teach them, and we have to stop pushing them out so early and not teaching them what they need to know. I know what it feels like to be out there early and not have that opportunity. It's hard when you have to learn on your own. That's right. So support your kids, teach them. If you can't do it, please come see us. We are happy to show you how to do what you need to do to make sure they have the tools and resources to be successful as our next generation.
Now I have the distinct honor and privilege of recognizing Apostle James Bennet for the Dr. Beatrice Thompson Legacy Award. If he can come, if James, if you can come on up, or Apostle James Bennet, of the New Beginnings Ministries International, incorporated in Anderson, South Carolina. He was ordained in 1977 and founded Christian Fellowship Outreach, which later became part of New Beginnings Ministries International in 1981. In 1996, he was affirmed as an apostle. Apostle Bennet established Rhema International Fellowship, RIF, to facilitate fellowship and support among churches. He is also a member of the FICW-FM organization of Los Angeles, California, founded by Apostle Frederick Casey Price. Under Apostle Bennet's leadership, New Beginnings Ministries is actively involved in various ministries, missions, and community initiatives. These include prison ministry, foreign and domestic missions, television broadcasts, youth programs, supporting international ministries, building churches in South America, Jamaica, Kenya, and organizing community events like the Golden Years Banquet and holiday relief efforts. Apostle Bennet has received numerous awards and is engaged in various community organizations and initiatives, serving as a mentor and advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Apostle James Bennet.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Any way you spell it is wow. I'd like to thank Dr. B. Thompson of the United Way and everybody involved with United Way for this award. And just to be honored is an honor for someone to think enough of what you do. And I appreciate that very, very much. And all the recipients tonight, let's not stop, but push our mentors and pull our mentees on into the next generation. I like what I see with the young people. At one time, I was mentoring 33 young African Americans at one time. I don't know how I did it. Yes, I really do. I love. When you love, your work is not a work.
That's right.
It's an enjoyment. I like to say hello to my family. Was my family. Some flew in from Orlando. I love my wife. A lot of people didn't know I was married for a long time. It ain't my fault. One night, a couple of community leaders said, Reverend Bennet, are you married? I said, yeah. She said, we don't ever see her. She's not being looked for. She's the woman beside the man. I know you girls are like that. And New Beginning Ministry that are here with me, some of the people that are with me tonight. Where are you tonight? But thank you for the years to be able to serve United Way, Anderson, and around the world. When my heart was touched in 1970, we won't talk about it. When my heart was touched by the message of the kingdom of God, I couldn't sit. I had to start running.
That's right.
And he said, go into all the world. That doesn't mean a black world, white world, orange world, yellow world, the world. But just so happened, we have been misled in a lot of things. And thank God for being redirected by good leaders.
Amen.
God bless you. Thank you very much. And let's support United Way.
Thank you, Caleb. Didn't Caleb do a great job? Well, our next recipients are the Pendleton Rhinos, and I would love for them to come on down and let me tell you about them as they make their way. As the former mayor of Pendleton, no one could be prouder of this group of fine men than me. They are a community service group established in 2020, and they have already made a huge, and I underline huge, impact in the community. Their organization's 4 pillars are community, education, investment, and legacy. Some of the amazing things that they are doing includes mentoring, providing scholarships, providing the community with holiday events, little libraries, a partnership with the Pendleton Police Department, and they are creating the Pendleton Athletic Alumni Association. Let's give it up for my favorite peeps, the Pendleton Rhinos.
You know, when you're sitting in the midst of gratefulness, even if you're getting celebrated, you're always humbled when you're sitting in the midst of people who do things that's so great, and that's so many people here. And so we're not trying to be impressive. We're just trying to be obedient and to God's assignment. And it's good to do it with your brothers, your hometown brothers, and that's what the Pendleton Rhinos has done. So thank you all for the recognition. We are truly humbled. I'm always kind of emotional in moments like this, because God showed me that I would be standing here in some form or fashion, and it seemed like every year there's always a conflict, but God knew that this would be the year, and what a special time. So Carol?
Yes, sir.
Carol is who got me started in community service, and she led the way during her time in Pendleton. And so on behalf of our president, Mr. John Williams, our VP, Mr. Derek, we're grateful. And we love Pendleton, but we also love Anderson County. So this is our VP of our finance department. Mr. Jazz does a tremendous work with our junior rhinos as well. And so I'm going to let him have the parting words.
Hello and good evening. Believe it or not, I'm kind of shy, so excuse me. Angela, thank you for your words. In the midst of our work, sometimes it can get heavy, and we can get tired, we can get weary. But coming to events like this with other community-based organizations, individuals, and even hearing your words reignites that fire to help us keep going. We have one of our mentees with us, Ms. Phillip. Phillip is he's a rising 10th grader at Daniel High School. So we expand beyond just Pendleton. We're Greenville County, Richland County, even we have things going on in North Dakota. So we're beyond just this area. We're expanding and we need help. We cannot do this alone. Anybody that wants to be a part of our organization as far as a mentee, if you know mentors, if you know anybody that wants to be a mentor, please contact us at any time. We're willing to accept anybody. Okay, we all have different backgrounds, we all have different things to offer to our young men. But I also have to give thanks to our parents, to their parents, to our mentees' parents, who allow us to be a part of their lives. They allow us to kick them in their head when they need to be sometimes, but also love them in a way that they need to also. So we're very thankful to be here, very grateful to be here, and looking forward to seeing your faces within our own communities sometime soon. We have a gala coming up also in August 5th. That way we raise money for our scholarships. We do give away annual scholarships. I think so far we've given away $6,000 to $8,000 worth of scholarships in the past 2 years. We plan on giving away $3,000 this year to graduating seniors, and that doesn't mean that stops in high school. Once you get to college, you can still reapply for our scholarships because it goes beyond there. We don't just pass them off when they get to college. We still keep investing into our youth. So I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you, and we're very appreciative.
Tonight, we want to provide special recognition to the Anderson Area Remembrance and Reconciliation Initiative. This group was formed in 2020 as a group of community members to honor the 5 known victims of racial terror lynching in Anderson County by reflecting more honestly on the history and legacy of racial and economic injustice. They have worked with artist and Anderson native Herman Keith Jr. to educate and take the story to the people through art. They are partnering with the Equal Justice Initiative headquartered in Montgomery, Alabama. And tonight, before this group comes forward to accept their award, I would like us to have a moment of silence for each of the victims. Mr. Edward Sullivan, Mr. Elbert Harris, Mr. John Lattison, Mr. Reuben Elrod, Mr. Willis Jackson. Thank you. And now let's welcome those that have been involved with this initiative of remembrance and reconciliation to the front to receive special recognition this evening.
Well, those who know me know that I don't usually have notes. Dr. Woodall, you did not come up, and you should have. Thank you. I usually don't have notes, but I was afraid that I would miss saying the right thing. Carol, you did exactly what needs to be done. We said the names of those gentlemen. We can't go backward. We can only move forward. We can't reconcile unless we first remember. Ms. Williams, you said, you made reference to Harriet Tubman. I want everyone to know that we would not be here tonight if it had not been for Dr. Stewart Sprague. This is a part of the commitment that Stewart wrote for us when we first began this journey in Zoom in 2020. We didn't come together until mid-2021. The core values of the Anderson Area Remembrance and Reconciliation Initiative are collaboration, respect, unity, and transparency. We are committed to hearing voices from all across Anderson County, and we thank you for ensuring the diverse voices and perspectives on racial terror lynching that were heard. And I'd like to thank Terrence Hassan for working with me. We went back and forth on making sure that we had this information together. So I want to thank you for this recognition. Thank you for acknowledging the work. Understand that the work is not over. The sculpture that Carol referenced is now at ANMED in our North Campus in the Oglesby Center atrium. It will be unveiled on Monday night at 5 p.m. If you have nothing to do, if you have something to do, change your plans. Everybody except Dr. Semuller, who I think is going to be on vacation. But I want to say thank you so much for this, and we certainly look forward to seeing you at 5 o'clock on this coming Monday in the Oglesby Center atrium so that you can see the work, the sculpture yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much.
If Dr. Ankoma Anderson would stay for a moment. During the time of planning for Angela's visit, over and over I heard about how much Angela loves her father. So in order to make this a special opportunity for her to be here, we are presenting Dr. Ankoma Anderson with the Chaplain James Charles Williams Award. Now, everything I've heard about Angela's father was that he was a caring pastor, he was involved in the community, and as you heard earlier, very involved in the civil rights movement while serving here at Royal Baptist Church. Tonight, we wanted to honor an African American pastor that is a community advocate, serves not only those in his congregation, but those in the greater community. He cares about our future because he cares about our children, and he continues as a lifelong learner, and he was the original spokesperson of the Remembrance and Reconciliation Initiative. So from what I understand, Angela's father will be proud to hear about Dr. Ankoma Anderson. And Angela, I am so happy that you beat me to the punch and you came up here and you joined Ankoma for a photograph. Just what we wanted you to do. Give him a big round of applause.
First of all, let me say good evening to everyone. It is an honor to be here today and to receive this award. But I must first say that all that the Lord has inspired us to do in the work of ministry and in community, I must say that this award does not belong to me because I would not be the person that I am if it were not for my beautiful wife, of course, and I call her my rib with sauce. But definitely to those of the Welfare Baptist Church who are always so supportive of the work of ministry. I'm thankful for them, and I'm thankful for them willing to believe in what the Lord has inspired us to do in this day and time. But I also want to say this to Dr. Williams. I whispered in her ear that I know her father, Dr. J.C. Williams. I can recall him coming to my home church, the Macedonia Baptist Church in Greenwood, South Carolina, where the Reverend Dr. Willie S. Harrison was the pastor. And I recall him being there during my childhood, preaching my childhood pastor's retirement. So I was very familiar with your father and his ministry, as well as your mom.
Yes.
And I remember when your dad was serving at the New Hope Baptist Church in McCormick, South Carolina. But I also want to say this as I prepare to leave. One of my favorite theologians, Dr. Howard Thurman, who's known as a great mystic, once said these words: don't ask what the world needs, but ask yourself, what makes you come alive? And go do it. And so I want to encourage all of us today as we continue serving, ask what makes ourselves come alive and go do it. Thank you much.
Thank you. All I can say is wow, right? And who said it earlier today? It's spelled frontwards or backwards the same. Well, how incredible. How incredible. And it just goes to show all of us the importance of legacy. And you never know who is in the audience and whose life your words will touch. And so congratulations to you. I'm just honored. Carol, thank you for naming this award after my dad. And I'm just glad you're the first, the inaugural. And so we got to take some more pictures afterwards. And and so I will surprise my dad on Sunday, Father's Day, when I see him, to let him know what a blessing Anderson continues to be and how he has been honored. So thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate it.
Wow is right, but we have a surprise award this evening. I love surprising people, and I also love it when you have a volunteer who takes the reins, keeps things organized, and jumps in to do whatever needs to be done. And that is exactly what Dr. Shaka Smith does. And tonight, we want to show our appreciation for a job well done. You can say all you want to. It's your show.
I don't have much to say, but I am just grateful for the opportunity to serve and to be able to serve. So thank you, Sheba.
All right, y'all give it up. Another congratulations to all of our award winners tonight. All of you are so amazing, and I hope that you continue to do your work safely and moving forward, all right? Let's see, so tonight, it wasn't just a fun party, you know, it was a celebration, but it was supposed to be a meaningful way to give back to the community, so I'd like to call back to the stage Carol Burdett and the AALS committee for a presentation of a check.
When you attend an event, it is always good to know where the proceeds are going. Well, tonight, United Way is pleased to let you know that the funds raised are going to pay the final bill of the new roof at the Westside Community Center. Yes, yes, yes. Now, there are some people in the room that really need to be thanked, and it starts with a guy over here in the corner. So, Bill Wires, please stand up. Around United Way, we have named Bill our new superhero. He works for Michelin Corporation, and it was his idea, along with some other folks at Michelin, to decide that they would come to United Way and say, we want you to do something you've never done before. And that's exactly what we did. We jumped out of the box and we worked. And I don't know where Liz Brock is, but she's my partner in crime. She's around here somewhere, has been working. And by the way, we have an extraordinary United Way staff. So. But we really couldn't do this, we could not have done this without turnkey roofing. And so if you ever need a new roof on your house, I highly suggest you call them. They saved us over $200,000 to get this roof on. But it was still a miracle in raising $115,000 to make this possible. And the only thing that I am disappointed about tonight is that our precious Dr. B is not with us. And she wasn't feeling that great, so we understand that. But I have to say that we are going to present to the Westside Community Center board members that are here. And if you'll come on up, come on down. And I want the committee members to come out front with the board, and we're going to take a big photo together. But I want you, if you contributed to the Westside Community Center roof at all, I want you to stand up and be recognized. I don't care if you gave $5, $500, or $5,000. Stand up and be recognized. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. So what an extraordinary evening. I'm so happy that we've been able to host you, that you took your time and your money to be here with us. And Angela, we were never going to thank you enough for joining us right here at home in Anderson, South Carolina. Thank you.